Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And I know it's been a while since I've done a video. I've had so much on lately. I think I just sort of had a busy few weekends. Last week I started a new job, which is really exciting. I've done some really nice things. But it has taken its toll on me and I have been exhausted. As you can imagine, an autistic person with a high social life can be a lot to deal with. So I've taken a break, which has been needed, but I really wanted to come back with a video today. So sorry if I look tired. I've pretty much just woken up. So anyway, now that that's out the way, let's get on to today's video. And in today's video, I want to talk all about how an autistic person might show that they care. Now, you're probably thinking, I know an autistic person in my life, and they never say, I love you, or give me a compliment, or smile at me. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't care for you. Now, I'm going to be talking about this in terms of caring as a friend, as a family member, or even as a boyfriend or a girlfriend. This can apply to any sort of relationship you're in with an autistic person, or if you are autistic yourself, then you might resonate with some of this, and you can show it to someone that you do care for to show that you care for them. So, autistic people are known for their unconventional ways of communicating and showing how they feel. However, just because they're not directly saying, I love you, doesn't mean that they don't care. You're probably just looking for it in all the wrong places. Well, some reasons why autistic people may struggle to share their emotions and affection could be not liking physical touch. For example, many people show they care by giving someone a hug or by holding their hand. Well, many autistic people may struggle with liking being touched by people or feeling able to touch other people. Well, it's not that they don't want to show they care, it's just that they feel unable to give you a hug. That doesn't mean that they don't care. For example, I hate it when my mum kisses me. Ugh. But it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate the thought behind it. Struggling to understand our emotions and how we're feeling can be a big part of it. Half the time, I don't really know why I feel the way I do in a situation. And if I don't know how I feel, how am I supposed to emanate that onto someone else? Because I may not understand, oh yeah, I really like this person. Again, emotional dysregulation. Sometimes we can get so frustrated at being unable to control our emotions when we feel incapable of expressing how we feel. A fear of being misunderstood or taken the wrong way. Many autistic people have experienced bullying in their lifetime. I mean, I know I have, especially even at primary school, secondary school, at college. Even in my adult life, I've experienced bullying. And what that can do is really make you feel small and feel unable to be yourself or express how you feel in fear that it will get shot down or taken the wrong way or made fun of. So we will often keep quiet instead because it seems easier. Well, autistic people may also have masked for so long and done and said what they've been told to, and that they now don't know how they really feel. And I can relate to this one. I know that when I was in college, I went out with two guys. One turned out to be a bully, and the other guy said, I love you, after only going out on one date. And I got freaked out by that. And of course, what I then did to save having to break up with the guy was that I said, I love you back, even though I didn't mean it, because that's what I thought I should be doing. No, do what you want to do. If you have an autistic person in your life and you think that they don't seem to care or show affection, well, then here are some ways that they may actually show affection that you might not be seeing or realizing. They may not say it directly, so it might be hard to pick up on. They might try to do things that are uncomfortable for them to make you happy and to show them they care. An example of this is I sometimes really struggle with making eye contact with people. It depends on the person, it depends on the situation, how comfortable I feel, how tired I am. Many factors can factor in when talking about sensory difficulties. But one thing I can struggle with is eye contact. And obviously I was very aware with my boyfriend and I that I want him to know that I care for him. And one way I know of doing that is showing that I'm interested, which means looking at him. Well, typically means looking at him. And obviously I want to look at him, but sometimes I can find that really difficult. But more and more lately, I'm trying to make a conscious effort of being, oh yeah, I need to show I'm interested in him by looking towards him. And that might be uncomfortable, but actually the more I do it, sometimes it can get easier. And so it's things like that, thinking, she's making a lot more eye contact than normal. Maybe that's her way of saying, oh, she really does care and is interested in me. They might talk about their special interests with you. If something is really special to an autistic person, they will likely want to share it with someone that is special to them. For example, if I randomly blurt out a fact about rubber ducks or about my music, then that's because it's important to me and I want to share it with you. And isn't that an amazing thing? Because I'm not just going to share important things with anyone. They might buy you presents. I love showing someone I care by making them things and by treating them. Sometimes a little too much. But yeah, I love doing that. And it's just a lovely way to remember that, oh yeah, they do care because they brought me a coffee the other day when we went out. Or, oh, they handmade that birthday card. That's nice. It's the little things sometimes that we forget about that actually is a way of showing that we care for someone. They might always be wanting to spend time with you. If they say, oh, do you fancy doing something next Saturday? Well, they're not going to want to spend time with you if they don't care for you, right? They might respond positively to acts of care from you. For example, I might not always be comfortable initiating holding hands, but then if you want to hold my hand and I don't take my hand out of yours, then surely that means I'm very happy and that I really care that you have taken the time to do that for me. They might start a conversation or respond positively to one that you started. Well, they're not going to want to talk to you if they don't care about you, right? Even if they're not saying it directly, a lot of autistic people do care for you. You just might be looking for it in the wrong ways. And another thing autistic people may struggle with is recognizing when someone cares about them. This could be because we are not always great at recognizing or understanding social cues. For example, when someone thinks they're being obvious, well, they're probably not. It's no good trying to accidentally brush your hand against theirs, hinting that you want to hold their hand, or saying, oh, we should hang out sometime. Well, that doesn't help an autistic person. You could say, oh, shall we go for a coffee on Saturday? I'd really like to get to know you more. Or, I'd really like it if we could hold hands. Is that okay? Or you could say, I really like you as more than a friend. I want us to be together. Then that shows really clearly that you care for them and that you're interested in them, rather than trying to be all nonchalant about it and an autistic person spending ages going, I don't really know if this person cares for me or not. Well, I hope those things gave you some food for thought today. It was something I've been thinking about talking about for a while. I know that I've struggled with a lot of these things in my life, and I know that other people probably have experienced these things with me, with myself not being very clear. But anyone in my life, just remember that if I don't say it directly, it doesn't mean that I'm not thinking it or that I don't care. And I'm sure that is the same for many autistic people in the world. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications every time I upload a new video, and I will be back next week. Thanks, guys.